You ready for a divine encounter that will shift your destiny? Join thousands at the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan. Register now for the Kingdom Activation Conference, Ibadan, 10th to 12th July on www.lapeaselm.org. Come and catch the fire of God from seasoned global ministers, Dr. Randy Clark, Bill Johnson, Dr. Tom Jones, Dr. Leif Hetland, Dr. Catherine Runala, Reverend Victor Adeyemi, Dr. Charity Cook, with worship led by Olumide Inyu, BJ Sachs, and Dare Justified. Hosted by conveners Femi and Mina Bajomo. Viewing centers in Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, and across Nigeria and the world. Join in person or at one of our viewing centers. Streaming live in English, French, and Hausa at www.lapeaselm.org. For more details, call +234 703 437 1401 or visit our website www.lapeaselm.org. Follow us on all platforms. Lapeas Lazuli Ministries, Kingdom Activation Conference 2025. Fulfill your divine destiny.
Happy birthday, Governor Sheriff Francis Oberewori, JP. I am most delighted to identify with Your Excellency and to offer my profound felicitations to you on this auspicious and special occasion of your birthday. You're indeed a first to reckon with and a great partner in progress. My prayer is that God will continue to honor you with sound health, greater wisdom and grace as you continue to steer the ship of Delta State. Once again, congratulations, Your Excellency, and please accept always the assurances of the esteemed regards and best wishes from the good people of Edo State. Warm regards, Senator Monday Okpewolo, the Executive Governor of Edo State.
Wondered why your voice mattered? Like someone was actually listening? In Cross River State, that's the vibe right now. Governor Basi Otu'S, they call him the Sweet Prince, but it's more than a nickname, it's a promise. He's not just talking about change, he's rolling up his sleeves and making it happen. Forget politics as usual. This is about real people, real lives, and the real season of sweetness that's blooming across our dear states. Welcome, I'm Imani Ode.
In the heart of Nigeria's South-South region, where green hills kiss the skies and rivers run deep, a quiet transformation is underway, led by a man whose journey is rooted in grace, grit, and a deep love for his people.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, very distinguished Senator, the Sweet Prince is here.
Governor Basi Edet Otu'S, affectionately known as the Sweet Prince.
He's a governor that tells you what he means. You know, he's not a governor that tells you, I want to do things this way and does it a different way.
He's very focused and very committed to his programs and his initiatives. And so his people first policy, to my mind, is reflective of his commitment to the people of the state.
He's a focused person. I see he's poised to delivering, and then he will deliver.
He's working hard to take the state not only to what it used to be, but to another level, because we had grown past that level of yesterday.
He's always put the people first in his policies, in his projects, his programs. Even in the selection of his cabinet, he looks for people-centric people to work with him. And that, for me, is a man that has said this is what he's going to do, and he has done that.
His Excellency Senator Prince Bassey Otu has done well, considering the fact that he's just barely 2 years in office. And for me, 2 years is not enough to actually assess what one has been able to achieve. But for me, for what he has done within 2 years, that is very exceptional and very commendable.
Born in Adiabo, Odukmani local government area, Bassey Otu's story begins not in the corridors of power, but in the warmth and simplicity of community life.
He was born here and we grew up and school around this neighborhood across. He started his school in Odukmani, and at some point he was also in Ogoja, which is the northern part of the state.
A banker turned legislator, he rose steadily from the Houses of Representatives to the Senate, and now Governor of Cross River State.
That in all circumstances, I will do right. I will do right. All manner of people. All manner of people. According to law. According to law. Without fear of favor. Without fear of favor.
The definition of leadership is about sacrifice. Prince has sacrificed his time, his everything to make sure he's been working for Cross-River.
A governor can decide to face the big boys, or he can decide to face the common man. Either way is valid. Governor Otu appears to have chosen to deal with the common man and support the common man.
He sees himself as a father to all. And indeed, he has brought about a lot of unity across the state.
He's somebody who is very transparent. Like initially when the administration came, he called me. You have to always tell the people what we're doing. It was never there. So at every ESCO, at the end of it, I briefed the press.
His Excellency Senator Prince Bassey Otu is a very complex man to understand. He never sleeps. And he has taxed everyone in the administration, to work harder. So he's a hard worker, and he's a go-getter.
He's a creative man. He's very innovative. He's people-oriented. He's a man whose word is his bond.
Governor Otu's approach since he assumed office in May 2023 has been one of grassroots engagement, championing community-driven development and striving to balance urban advancement with rural inclusion.
This development and transformation style of the government is not just within the urban area. It has also taken to the central and the northern part of the state.
The project here is the construction of the Governor's Lodge in Ogoja that will serve as a liaison office or his second office for here, so that whenever he comes to this area, he has a place to stay. Apart from bringing the development to this area and bringing the governor closer to the people of the north, is also serving as a means of employment, because most of the people here are coming from this area, so they're benefiting from this project. And when governor stays there, definitely there'll be a lot of activities going on.
2 years into his administration, Otu has set a remarkable pace, not only in execution, but in renewing the fate of his people.
If you remember from the inception, I had said that I'm only a messenger and that Jesus Christ is the governor of the state. If you look at it majorly, I believe that it's all divine intervention. Because what we have achieved within this short space of time, you won't believe it. We know where we took off from, and we know where we are today.
His Excellency Senator Prince Bassey Otu came into government prepared
with the right attitude, with a roadmap. And that makes things a whole lot easier, because once you have a roadmap, you know exactly where you're headed. And that is why we are heading in the right direction.
We can acknowledge that he's committed, focusing on key areas that have an impact on the livelihood of the citizenry.
He has a human face. And I must say that he will give you wings to fly. He will give you an assignment. He doesn't need to come around you supervising you. He will give you an assignment expecting, like he would say, premium or nothing.
You know, I'm one of those who said that he hasn't disappointed. I mean, he was elected to provide leadership, and I think that that's exactly what he's done.
Under his leadership, significant developments have occurred in the road construction projects across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. From Calabar to Obudu, the landscape is changing.
In order to open the economy, there must be roads. There must be roads. You know, like the Okpoma ransom, you know that Okuku market was an international market. When I was a student there in Federal School of Art and Science, and we used to go there, traders, people come from all over Nigeria, Sokoto, name it, to come and buy things there. So that road is very, very important.
Road rehabilitation has taken center stage. Once impassable routes are being reconstructed, opening doors to commerce, transportation, and tourism.
There have been road rehabilitation across the 3 senatorial districts, from here in the south to the central and to the northern part.
Those who come into Calabar in those days will realize that the moment you are into the city, you realize that there will be tankers, you know, all over the road, the major entrance road to the city. So the governor, you know, as part of his first project, decided that he will attend to the Esokotan project and decided to dualize the road. By the grace of God, today you can see that that aspect of inflow of trucks in the Molotran Mohammed Highway has ended. And it didn't just dualize Esokotan. You know, there are other activities that linked up Esokotan with the NPA port. You know, there are other tanks found within the NPA and the APZ. So His Excellency in his wisdom decided that he needs to link up the Esokotan with the NPA. So we didn't just dualize, but we also link up Esokotan into NPA.
The Adiabo-Ikoneto Road, after over 3 decades of abandonment, is witnessing ongoing construction efforts under Governor Otu'S administration.
The Adiabo-Ikoneto Road, that is a very important artery, because the other Calabar Road, despite all my efforts, has actually been a big trap for movement of vehicles. Sometimes, at times, people sleep there for 2 days. At times, people sleep there for 3 days. But with the opening of this other one, traffic has been made easy. People now take there, and within a space of probably about an hour or under, they've crossed over into the other road, and then they're on to move.
Before, this site is swamp area. Nobody can penetrate here. Nothing like even a bike, even in lake, nobody can penetrate here. But now, I thank God, even motor, cars, and even walking on the penetrate now.
There had been a lot of efforts by federal government, successive governments within the period to ensure that that road is completed. Unfortunately, governments have come and gone. Several governments have come and gone, and that road have remained in darkness. But His Excellency, just within less than 7 months, when he went into that road, to ensure that that road is visited once again. Today, people can pass through the road. It's a miracle.
Also worthy of note is the Urban and San road construction. The project aims to enhance connectivity for communities in Akamba local government area and forms part of the administration's commitment to improving infrastructure across the state.
Another relevant project which this administration have taken is the construction of Otu'S Road in Akamba local government. It is a project that was introduced during the pre-colonial era. Throughout the colonial era, it was neglected, forgotten. Not even the military era was it remembered, nor from 1999 to date. But I want to thank His Excellency the Governor for his elephant heart, to take, such responsibility, the construction of Akamba, that's Otu'S Road.
Under the leadership of Governor Basi Edet Otu, strategic rehabilitation and construction of key routes across the central senatorial district of the state is easing decades of hardship. Once treacherous and impassable, these roads are now gateways to markets, schools, and healthcare, reawakening the economic lifeblood of the state.
The road is very fine now. It was very bad compared to the time that we were using the roads. We're suffering the mud all around, but now it's better.
Deep in the northern eastern corridor of Cross River State, the Ukele Road, once a rugged trail of dust, mud, and broken promises, is now witnessing a new dawn.
I was brought up in this community. We, the women, have gone through hell just because of this road. I know how we've been suffering. Most times, even the women of Ukele are not lazy women. We are active women who works very well. But even with the efforts of our work, it's just as if we are not hardworking women, just because of the road. Well, the ongoing of the work is a perfect work. It's a work that even with the women, we're not expecting it to be this way. Sometimes our children comes out to just see because it's just like a film to them. It was something that we all never expected, and it comes this way. So we really appreciate our governor for this work.
Under the administration, construction work is in full swing, aimed at opening up access to this long marginalized part of the state. For decades, the people of Ukele have endured isolation and economic stagnation. But with this intervention, movement is becoming easier, trade is reviving, and hope is returning.
Vehicles could not even access the road. The road was very bad. We only convey our products, our produce or gari, whatsoever, through bikes and trucks. The road was as bad as that. But thank God, His Excellency Prince Basi Otu haven't seen what the people of Ukele are passing through, awarded the roads, and today, every one of us, we are happy. From the depths of our mind, we are happy and we are grateful to His Excellency.
The Nduk Junction, a vital intersection in Cross River State's transportation network, is finally receiving the attention it has long deserved. Once notorious for congestion, flooding, and poor visibility, the junction is now being redesigned and rehabilitated under Governor Basi Edet Otu's infrastructure renewal plan.
We've gone past the time that the governor will say that he's not a governor to fix potholes. The governor is doing some good work in terms of taking care of the road networks in Calabar, and I see that they are doing some work in Ogoja.
In Otu's administration, transparency is not an ideal, it's a standard. Participatory budgeting and open governance are becoming the new normal.
Transparency is the key word. We can see from his projects. You look at his budget. I've been a product of a good budget and bad budget. I mean, in my days in the House of Assembly, I was chairman appropriation and then a speaker. So I've seen how budgets are being run. But Every year, I look at the budget of my state and I see you look at key performance indicators and keep it there and say, oh, at the end of the year, you see if we've met your expectations. And so far, we are doing well.
The internally generated revenue, IGR, has seen a sharp rise. Leakages have been blocked and resources now directed to where they matter most.
Within a period of 18 months, our IGR increased from a possible 18 billion to about 46 billion. Most of our leakages from all these agencies and all that have been channeled to one account system.
We've successfully transited from the cash basis of accounting to IPSA's accrual basis of accounting, which promotes transparency, proper accountability, documentation, recording, and evaluating our performance. When His Excellency came, and through our activity as SEBA, we were able to reposition Cross River State as MTEF compliant states. You now apply for your budget clearance. Under 24 hours is digitally released. You can confirm it from any MDE. That's what His Excellency has done.
Strong institutions are the backbone of good governance. Governor Otu has revitalized public assets that empower administration, local service delivery, and education.
So much has been done in the education sector, I can tell you. One of the basic intervention, or what we call palliative, that was done in this sector, was the payment of WAEC registration for Cross River Indigene. His Excellency, the Governor, released over $500 million for over 16,301 cross variants. And then he has also sustained that again this year. We paid for about 14,801 students again. Aside from that, we have a brand new university we call University of Education and Entrepreneurship. Not just that, we have also established a College of Agriculture in Ububura. These are all the transformation that is going on.
The once forgotten and abandoned state library is alive again, a powerful symbol of the governor's belief in knowledge and youth empowerment.
Look at the Cross River State Library. It was right in front of the government house, and it was an eyesore before now. But this government has fixed that place, decided to take it as the responsibility of government that it is, and give it the priority it deserves, and they have fixed it.
Without a proper library, there can be no proper education. There must be a reference center where, apart from the kids after school going to mix up with their peers, there must be where they can add knowledge. Well, when people like me were growing up, library was a very serious what I would call an institution. Very, very serious indeed, because almost all the assignments that you're given, you get to the library. And this will take kids away from thinking some vices which will not add anything to society. But if you have a place like that, they'll be able to go there and add value to their knowledge. And if you look at the library now, it's actually a top-class library that can match any other library you want to think about in the world. It's a very modern library indeed, and we're making sure that all the requirements are put in place so that by the time that goes on, you will now see traffic that will be moving towards the library, and the cross regions will be the better for it.
No state can undermine library. Even the governor of this state, if you want to have his quiet time to even look at what can I do, he has to enter that library. Not just library, not just talk with books, but digital library. That is what we are having now. And I commend His Excellency for taking that bold step.
Even the remodeling of the governor's office isn't just cosmetic. It's a statement of purpose, as it reflects a commitment to institutional dignity and functionality.
The government house here was built by, I think, Eswene. And up to that point from today till today, no government had done any remodeling or the detailed remodeling like he has done to give the state a proper government house?
Structurally, I'd say it wasn't befitting of a governor's office. But with the new look he's wearing, you can say that's a 21st century smart office, a conducive environment for everyone, to go about discharging their daily functions.
The new governor's office is a smart office because if you look at the ICT that you have, that's imbued there, it can even serve the whole Cross River because it's a lot of equipment that they have invested there. In terms of structural, there was the opinion that maybe the place should be pulled down by some certain people, while some say for my own person, I said it can be remodeled and rehabilitated because we have to carry out an integrity test from the structural engineering from Abuja. They came down, they did an integrity test for the building. That's to ensure if it can last for the test of time. And the result came and said the building is solid. So we redesigned a drawing, the old drawing, so that we can get all the dimensions and all the measurement that we need for the remodeling. Everything was taken off. So the ties, the wiring, the windows, everything was changed. The only thing that remained on that building is just the block work.
Local Government Civil Service Commission, once abandoned, is now fully functional, managing grassroots governance and recruitment effectively.
The civil servants in the state, I see that there's a lot more morale, especially with the revisiting the promotions that had actually gone into arrears. He has also improved in the area of capacity development and training. And actually, I see some exchange programs of civil servants for civil servants. So yes, I see a lot of improvement in the morale of civil servants.
His Excellency, Senator Prince Basi Otu, the Governor of Cross River State. Labour make some noise!
Governor Otu has earned a solid reputation as a labor-friendly leader, a testament to his unalloyed commitment to the welfare of workers across the state.
It's been the first time in our service that we've heard of increment of salaries. We met our minimum wage at 24,000. His Excellency gave us wage award and got it to 40,000. And under 3 months, we got a 70,000 naira minimum wage. It's never been that within a span of 5 months, the least any civil servant in the state got as increment in salary was 50,000 and above.
From the release of 10 billion naira for the payment of gratuity to prompt payment of salaries and pensions, to improved working conditions and open-door policies for dialogues, Otu'S administration has fostered a harmonious relationship with the labor unions.
We've done already from 2009 to 2016. We'll be looking to visit the second batch not too long from now to take it from 2016 to probably to 2030. I think the moment we do that, we must have settled that score. And we'll have good prayers from people who invested their whole life in building Cross River State. And the moment that is done, I must have achieved so much, because whether we like it or not, in all that we're doing, life is the most important. If life is not there, then all the things we are building will be carcass. All the things we are doing, there'll be nobody to enjoy it. And for those who had earlier invested in Cross River State, to die in penury and in pain is not something that we should be proud of. So we'll do our best to get that site sorted out as quickly as we have some funds.
About 10 billion or so was approved by his administration, for payment of outstanding pensions and gratuities, right? I mean, there's nothing that continues to be a drag in terms of governance and in terms of the circumstances of the citizens as much as that backlog. So you have a government that is people-centered. I mean, it's concerned about, it's sensitive to, what the challenges of the people are.
Gratuity was abandoned for a very long time, from 2019 to when he released money last year. And for the very first time within our zone, for a governor to release 10 billion for implementation of gratuity, it was not an exiting for the state. That from the workforce or from labor acts will continue to give him thumbs up throughout, because he did wonderfully well. And the thing has helped us from labor side to reduce the pressure we're having from our parents who have served the state meritoriously for these 35 years and the other way.
More than policies, it is Otu'S humanity that defines his leadership. A governor who walks the streets unannounced, listens intently, and leads with empathy.
He's a father. He's a friend. He's a husband. He's a sympathizer. He empathizes with people. He's a man full of empathy.
For me, he's a selfless person. I think he's also detribalized. He's unruffled. He's been there, and his attitude and behavior has been very consistent from when he ventured into politics. And it's still that way.
Under Otu'S leadership, urban renewal isn't just about beauty. It's about dignity. Solar-powered streetlights now illuminate most communities and restores public buildings to serve citizens more efficiently.
As you know, I don't see where as place don't clear. Our governor don't try, don't do fine things for us this side. We will continue to praise him. God will continue to keep him alive so that things will continue to do things for us. As seen they do so. Before, if you come, everywhere go day dark for here. But as you enter now, it's everywhere. Without light, you can walk.
Calabar's legacy as one of Nigeria's cleanest cities is not only being preserved, it's being elevated.
Cross River State before was rated as one of the cleanest states, if not in Africa, West Africa. But if you look at records, we are going down the drain. Today, when we came on board, we had to swim back to that glory of being the first state, the first clean, serene, and green state in Nigeria. Any investor that wants to come and operate in Cross River State, please come. The environment is conducive.
Security is the foundation of progress. From his first day in office, Governor Bassey Otu prioritized peace, security, and the protection of lives and property as non-negotiable commitments. Through the provision of patrol vehicles, enhanced communication tools, and strengthened interagency collaboration, Cross River State is witnessing a steady decline in criminal activity across former flashpoints.
Yes, security actually has been the number one priority of government, because any government coming into, you swear to an oath, not just to man, but also to God, to protect the life, property of your citizenry. If you look at the state today, I think the state is about the safest subnational that we can think about in the Federation. We have investors coming in droves.
Additionally, the state is focusing on rehabilitating security formations. Through these multifaceted strategies, the administration aims to strengthen its security framework, promote community resilience, and restore its status as a safe and thriving destination.
All the security agencies in Calabar metropolis, their premises have been transformed, courtesy of the state government. Let me say that one important takeaway or advantage from what we have done is that this has encouraged the security formations to drive the security architecture of the state properly. So crime has been reduced.
First, let me make a very good impression about it. I want to say it's not just facelift. What we have is a reconstruction, a remodeling, and a re-engineering of the office premises. And we want to thank the state government and the state governor and the government and people of Cross River State for this wonderful support which we have.
The topography or the landscape of the compound was nothing to write home about before now. But you can see right now, if I ask you, not on punishment basis, but if I ask you to roll on the ground here, I think you'll be happy that you are part of those who have been asked to roll here. Very beautiful, very everything that can give the conducive atmosphere and environment for officers to perform.
You know, there was a time when in Calabar and a number of other urban centers, I don't want to talk about the rural areas yet, but in Calabar, by 9 o'clock, the streets were dead because there was purse snatching, there was armed robbery, and so on and so forth. But occasionally we find ourselves outside 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and the town is bubbling. Not only that, I have had cause to see in what ordinarily I would have called very lonely parts of the town. For example, on the highway, okay, 11 o'clock, and I see a lady strolling casually, heading home. By 11 o'clock at night, alone. You know, these are practical examples of the sense of security that people have. Now, there's nowhere that's 100% secure, but I think on the whole, there has been a massive improvement in the perception of security because we're not hearing those kind of stories. And that's what's giving the businesses confidence to come back and open.
Meanwhile, in the southern frontier, a sleeping giant awakes. The Bakassi Deep Seaport. More than a project, it's a promise, a gateway to prosperity, a legacy, a vision, and bold leadership.
If you go to the high sea, a lot is happening. A lot is happening. That's for survey. So after the survey, they go to designs. After designs, you go to the real project implementation. So all those timelines have been set. So the governor also is making arrangements to send young Cross-Riverians to develop their skill sets for the maritime industry. So hopefully this year, the first batch out of 1,000 young Cross-Riverians will be leaving to Europe and Asia for studies.
In a landmark move, the Otu'S administration acquired 2 brand new aircraft to expand the fleet of the state-owned airline. This strategic investment aims to improve regional air connectivity and position Cross River as a hub for aviation and tourism.
Cali Air is going to be completely different. I was setting up as a full airline which will be running. For now, we'll be under some city tutelage, but not too long, we'll be flying almost all alone because we are expecting 5 aircrafts on the whole. So we have 2 that are coming in. Later on, some other 2 will join. We'll join until we have about 5.
Many leaders would have abandoned the project in order to focus on their own legacy initiatives. But for Governor Otu, he wasn't caught from that clot.
I didn't come to the governorship just to make a name by creating legacy projects. But I believe that public funds were invested in all those projects. Even if the glory goes to those who started it, I'm very, very happy to complete it for the public, even if my name is not mentioned at all. That is why you see, like, almost all the industries are inherited. I've worked so hard to try to make them come on board.
The Obudu International Cargo and Passenger Airport, another milestone achieved.
The Cargo International Airport, Senator Ayade had come and gone, but Prince Otu is continuing it. It's a very big project. And of course, you know, if that airport is completed, it's going to create an economic hub for the North.
The greatest quagmire since the onset of this Fourth Republic has been the lack of continuity in successive administrations. Different administrations come in and they try to write their own legacy, try to start projects greenfield. But what Governor Basio Otu has been able to demonstrate is what President Asiwaju demonstrated in Lagos, which was continuity after himself, to Fashola, to Ambode, and of course to Sanwo-Olu. And the life cycle of certain projects sometimes may take longer than the lifetime of an administration. So when you see the Obudu Cargo Airport getting closer and closer to completion, you understand that that is a man that understands the investment that has come in by previous administration and has sought to continue that. When you see the expansion of Cali Air by the acquisition of new aircrafts, you understand that that is continuity in progress.
So his efforts at continuity of successive administrations, you know what I mean? And that's what I must give him credit for. He's not come in and discounted any of his three predecessors, and we must acknowledge that. So he's probably identifying key policies and programs that each of those three administrations initiated, which he believes will be in the collective interest of our people, and is implementing them.
Under Otu's leadership, the vision is becoming a reality, with runways, terminals, and a future ready for takeoff.
That airport is about, I would say it's about 80% completed. I said last time what drew us back was the fact that we had some technical issues. And even though it has delayed the airport coming into operations, but I want to thank the Nigerian aviation authorities because they're actually very thorough and meticulous in making sure that what is done is right. So even though it's delaying or and it's painful, we have to just follow the protocol to make sure that at the end of the day, the proper thing is done and everybody will be happy. But in terms of it coming to operations, it will come, definitely. We're doing our very best, despite the paucity of funds, to make sure that it comes into operation.
Agriculture remains a cornerstone. Otu's administration supports farmers, links production to markets, and champions food security.
Oh, agricultural sector, what we've done there is a revolution. It's just that we don't have the funds that we require. Even though we would have gone very, very far now. But we've put so many things in agriculture that even the rest are copying. You know, we came with the idea of dividing the ministry to say, look, we'll have livestock and aquaculture, and this one should be crops and irrigation. Because we knew that the agri sector is so vast, and this is actually the area which we can play complementary advantage. Apart from the fact that we did our soil investigation, anywhere you want in Cross River State, you can sit down and then press your button and then you get it. That's why most people who call me now are looking for land in Cross River State. They tell me where they want because they already know the chemistry of the place. They know what kind of rain, what kind of things that happens in the whole place, and so on and so forth.
Which means that if you go to Ecom now, you can say, look, these are the things that can possibly grow in Ecom. You go to Abi, oh, these are things that can grow in Kureku, in Tigidi, and in this place and that place. So people can focus directly Instead of planting something that will wither after a while because you just taking chances. Now you don't gamble. You know exactly what will grow there.
I'm a beneficiary of his efforts to ensure that one of the agri-business I am involved in is being seriously encouraged by him. And I know there are other activities of his or actions of his that shows clearly that he will want to encourage cross-riverians to ensure that they participate.
Last farming season, and even this season is on the way, with women, including myself, who is a farmer, we got fertilizer, we got a lot of farm inputs to boost our crop. Soft loans, interventions have been given to rural women.
Job creation now wears many faces, from youth empowerment programs to tourism revival.
Cross River State, it's what I would say the tourism destination for Nigeria, and very soon is going to be Africa much. So we are looking at different products. We are trying to see how to revamp the ranch to take it to the level that we want to. And then in terms of heritage and our cultures, we're trying to do so many things at the same time. We've not forgotten about the carnival. I think we've just come back from the unveiling because we are beginning to get international sponsors. So carnival is no more a Cross River State affair. Carnival is now international. We have international sponsors.
For us in the tourism cluster, for us in the entertainment cluster, it's been a roller coaster because he's putting a lot of things in place. He gave us a marching order and said that he wants everything back. He wants it to return to what it used to be when it started from the era of Governor Duke. So we had a meeting with him. He gave us his idea and asked us to go and flesh it up. So we have a mixture, a potpourri of activities during the December. There's a theater part of it, component. There's a cultural part of it. There is a music part of it. There's comedy. There's dance. There's everything. And of course, Africa's biggest street party. I would also fail to give her her flowers. Her Excellency, the wife of our dear governor, through her ingenuity, she brought about the Ikom and Ogoja carnival. You know what I mean? You know, by introducing that. And of course, she also brought back the Voices of Paradise, which is a musical choral competition, which they win as much as 3 million, first prize, 2 million, and of course 1 million naira, all thanks to her.
Still, the verdict from across the state is clear.
Being a man of God with conscience, if you want Cross River State to know that out of nothing, God can make something happen. Out of what Cross River State was known for, that was long lost, can be returned back. And that is why he himself, at the first point, has handed over the state to God, that Jesus is the governor and he's the messenger. There is no way that Jesus will not bring out water from the rock to make sure that Cross River State have enough to reposition the state.
He's a man that is down to earth. And we've seen a man who walks with grace. Because this same Cross River State that we've not seen anything special happening, that all these things are happening within this short space of time. So we appreciate him.
Governor Otu is not building castles in the sky. He is laying foundations for a sustainable Cross River.
He's very dedicated. He's God-fearing. He means well for the people. He's well-meaning. He's not focused on himself. He's appreciative of everyone that has played a role in his life. He's a leader that I believe is very reconciliatory. And I think for us, as cross-riverians, and for me as a statesman, I would say his sweetness continues, and let him continue in that mood.
In the trenches of governance, there is sweat, sacrifice, and sweetness. The kind that comes when a leader chooses to serve, not rule. When the people begin to believe again.
It's been a season of sweetness, and it's still going to be so. So what I will still appeal to them is we still need more prayers. Because in all we are doing, we are not unmindful of the challenges, because whatever terrain it is, you have negative and evil people who try to kill ideas. But if we are together, we are strong enough to break any challenge or anything that will come to see if it can be taken back. My assurance to them is that Cross River State is taken to the next level.
2 years may seem short, but for Cross River, they've been defining.
Well, the defining moment hasn't come yet. So I think 2 years is still a little bit quite early to draw to that conclusion. I had major things which I wanted to do. One was to lay a solid foundation for the economy of the state, for us to begin to add value and then to increase productivity. In order to do this, I had looked at other value chain arrangements and things that can be put in place to make sure that we achieve this. One was to make sure that we do have access routes and that produce from the farms and items of sale in the markets one can easily move them down. And then two was to make sure that there's security. We also wanted to make sure that there's food security, there's energy security, and the moment that is done, then the opportunities will begin to open up in the economy.
My way to Cross River is I continue to pray for the administration of Senator Prince Bassey Adedetu, continue to support him because he's the governor that thinks about the people of Cross River State. And I assure Cross Riverians that their security is safe. And I assure Cross Riverians that Cross River State is in the right hands and we're moving towards the right direction for Cross River State.
Congratulations on your second anniversary in office. Like I said, it's just the beginning. We pray that you'll continue to deliver the dividends of democracy. And we also pray that, the people of Cross River State will be better served with you in office.
I must thank him for the father figure that he's exhibiting in Cross River State, showing how compassionate he is to everyone. I must thank him for providing security, providing infrastructure, making Cross River State one of the most livable places. I must thank him absolutely very well for having not to compromise, but dedicating his time for his people. May God Almighty bless him.
May God give him the ability to continue delivering on his mandate to the good people of Cross River State as he clocked 2 years in office. Congratulations, His Excellency.
Congratulations, Excellency, on your 2 years in office.
We love you, Excellency. We'll continue to stand by you. We want to wish you the best. And of course, encourage you to do more because our prayers are strongly behind you.
His Excellency, Senator Prince Bassey Adedetu, in addition to being my governor and my leader, is my friend. I therefore, when I campaigned for him, without prejudice to the run-up to those campaigns, right? I did so with single-mindedness that this man will not disappoint. It's the First Lady is also somebody that I also know personally. So they are a family. And I think that I have no regrets at all, having campaigned for him. I have no regrets at all, endorsing him for second term. And I'm going to work even harder than I did in 2023 to get him re-elected for a second term.
I want to seize this opportunity actually to congratulate our dear President, Jagaban Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I say this without any equivocation and the fact that I'm not gifted to those who say things for saying sake. This is the first time we actually have a president that can look at things squarely and say it the way it is. Our fiscal aspects of responsibility in terms of moving the Nigerian economy, both macro and micro forward, has been demonstrated positively by this president. And I believe that if this president stays for another term, this economy must have been structured properly to move forward. I'm not saying there are no issues which I believe that the president will be able to address it. The president came into office to meet underinvestment in all areas in Nigeria. We were basically freeloaders in this place. But within this period, I believe people are beginning to assess themselves and people are beginning to engage in proper productivity. The idea of commission is dying out from our society. Proper economic activities are beginning to show its face. So I believe not too long, the economy will balance. So I want to wish him the very best. I want to say God will strengthen and keep him for us, and that the wisdom of Solomon will see him through this first year and even the second year. As a state, Cross River, I believe that we have endorsed him. It wasn't a selfish endorsement. It was a statewide endorsement that he should continue. We thank him for all the projects which he's trying to set up in Cross River State, which are pure foundational and will complement our economy. And we plead that he does more. But we want to wish him the very best in office. And his very beautiful wife, who has gone around the country and has moved around to see the widows or the orphans, those who are disadvantaged, one or the other. She's energized women, empower women. I think the duo is doing quite well for Nigeria. I want to wish them well.
This isn't just a story about a governor. It's a story about a people rediscovering purpose. It's a story about a community. It's a story about hope. It's a story about change. And this season of sweetness is just beginning. Cross River is rising, and we are part of it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.